you can put whatever money you want, subject to a minimum of 1,000 rupees per year.
How early is too early? Or is there no such thing?
Once you feel you have some money, you should start.
So, what exactly is this national pension system all about?
The amount of money that you get simply by letting the money be in the system for a long time, or at least people watching this program will definitely will have.
Hello and welcome. You're tuned into Mint and I'm Sana Marwaha. Today we are going to talk about the national pension system, that is the NPS. Many of us at this point would be at a stage in our lives where we are thinking about long-term savings leading to retirement. And if you're not thinking about it, you probably should start thinking about it right now. So, to this effect, we are going to discuss everything in the next 10 episodes that you need to know about NPS and how this can lead to long term savings for you. To this effect, we have a very special guest with us today, Mr. Subhasis Ghosh. He's the CEO at Kotak Mahindra Pension Fund. Thank you so much, Mr. Ghosh, for joining us today.
Thanks, Hannah, for inviting me.
All right. Well, we are going to, in each episode, go through some situations which I think will help our viewers understand how exactly to approach NPS. Right. So, our first situation is 30-year-old Raj.
Okay.
He just got a big break in his career, obviously, makes a lot more money right now through his new job. And he is excited, but he thinks retirement planning can wait. So, what's the verdict? Can he wait?
See, power of compounding interest ensures that you should start whenever you can, because the amount of money that you get simply by letting the money be in the system for a long time will make a lot of difference whether you start at the age of 30, 25, 35 or 45. So yes, he should start whenever he's ready.
How early is too early? Or is there no such thing?
No, I would say this, the moment you feel that you have got a steady source of income, reasonably steady source of income, is when you should start. But obviously, if you're struggling to meet your own ends, then I wouldn't, it's difficult to save money. But once you feel you have some money, you should start.
All right. And how much would you define some money? Like just any amount that you have extra left?
Actually, that's not a bad idea to look at it. See, the beauty about NPS is that you can put whatever money you want, subject to a minimum of 1,000 rupees per year. That much money, I'm expecting somebody will have, or at least people watching this program will definitely will have. So, the moment you have, if you feel you can save 1,000 a year, you should start.
Right. Okay. Now let's dive into the details of NPS. So, what exactly is this national pension system all about?
Okay. So, national pension system started about 20 years back when the government wanted people to move from government's contribution, where they were guaranteeing a return on retirement, to where government is putting the money inside, and whatever is the returns are market determined, and people will take a pension out of that. 2009, it allowed all citizens to come in. People like you and me who are not working in the government, we could open an NPS account, and then we should save money for retirement. Combination of either you do it on your own, or you ask your company to contribute on your behalf, or both are equally possible. And then you contribute money till you retire, and the end you have a lump sum, which up to 40% you have to buy an annuity. Entire balance you can withdraw, or again withdraw it systematically from the system.
So, this is a government scheme at the end of the day, or is it a private plan?
No, this is a private plan. It's a government regulated scheme. You have PFRDA, who's a regulatory authority looking after it. So there are certain very strict guidelines and conditions under which the funds are operated. There are a number of oversights that happen. But end of the day, there are 10 pension fund managers. You choose the pension fund manager that you want, and the money remains there. And of course, you have a choice of changing the pension fund manager once every year.
All right. All right. So, if it is a private plan, then how is it different from things like mutual funds and FDs?
Very good question. See, the nature of each type of funds is different. A mutual fund you also require, that is meant for liquid cash when you want it. So you save for a while and then you save for an event when you wanted to take the money. Here you're saving for your retirement. So the idea is just like a provident fund. You put aside money, you put aside some money, your company puts aside some money, and jointly you save till the amount, till the age of retirement, whatever is the superannuation, 58 or 60 as the case may be. It is meant for that purpose. So the nature of the deposit is different. The nature of the savings element is different.
Right. So then I think one question that probably weighs on everyone's mind, especially right now, is inflation, right? When you're planning anything long term or you're planning for your retirement, inflation becomes a big factor. There are so many
True.
calculations to kind of, tell you exactly how much you should account for inflation. And of course, there's no way to really know. So, does NPS beat inflation? Has it beaten inflation so far?
Okay. So the only way to look at it is the data that is there in front of us. So I will tell you, on a 10-year basis, when you had different events like demonetization, you had COVID, you had elections, you have the war that is currently happening in Ukraine, taking all that into account, 10-year CAGR on an average is 10.5%, with a mix of 75% in equity, 10% in corporate bonds, and 15% in government securities. With this mix, 10.5% is CAGR. And I must tell you, this CAGR is on 20th of February. Now, when the market has improved, the CAGR will obviously be a bit higher. And that has obviously beaten inflation.
Right. Have there been any years where NPS has kind of given negative returns also since it's market linked?
So, if you look at a very, yes, of course, if you look at it as a very short term basis and you have a high equity usage in the NPS, certainly there will be years in which it would have given negative. But then this is meant for long term, and that is the essential difference between comparing it with a mutual fund. You have to look at it for 10 years plus term to get the full benefit of the understanding of what NPS is all about.
So I think the takeaway from this episode was basically that A, it's never too early. At least once you start getting a stable income, it's time to start planning for your long term savings leading to your retirement. The sooner you do it, the better. In the coming episodes, we're going to explore more about NPS, how to open an account, what are tier 1 and tier 2 accounts, how exactly you should be looking at it, how it's taxed. So stay tuned for all the other episodes.